Hey Phil, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself, Dave?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. My name's not Shirley.
Shirley, you can't be serious.
Shirley? That's airplane reference.
Yeah.
Phil, it's good to have you here.
Great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. You know, this is, I think, the first one for the new year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll kick it off with a kicker here.
All right.
I have all kinds of respect for you.
Okay.
You know, for anybody, of course I want you to expand on this.
Sure.
Anybody who can sit down and look at notes, not look up, while you're flying down a gravel road, stupid speeds.
At times, yeah. Actually, the speeds are pretty ridiculous for any of the road conditions. It might be snow and ice covered. It might be, rain, wet gravel, dry gravel, dust. Yeah, we raced it all.
Good stuff. And what people don't, what I'm getting at, Phil sits shotgun in a rally car.
The GPS before they were cool.
Oh, yeah. Can you blow that up a little bit on what it's like?
Yeah. What we do is, like, the day before the event, we get to pre-drive the course with our notes. We have to do it in a street car, which the rally cars are street legal. And we get pre-drive the course, making any changes, corrections to the notes that the event provides us. But we're only doing it like 25 or 30 miles an hour. We have to stay within legal speed limits. And then come race day, it's pretty much balls to the wall. Let's do it. I will be the first to admit, I've had some butt-puckering moments over the years.
I can imagine.
I've been doing this off and on for close to 17 years now.
17 years?
Yeah.
Long time.
Yes.
Long time.
I remember becoming a fan of rally back in the late 70s with the old Sunriser 400 Forest Rally here in Chillicothe.
Yeah.
And, followed the sport for years. Got into some other types of motorsports, made some contacts, made some good friends, started crewing for a guy, helped him build a new car after he destroyed one in an off-track incident. He was getting the car set up for a tarmac event, playing on some twisty roads outside of Cincinnati, hit a tree truck.
A tree truck?
A tree trimming truck.
Oh my.
Totaled the truck. And did a number on the rally car as well, so we built a new car. And part of his deal with myself and another friend of ours from Columbus was, hey, you guys help me build this car. I'll give you each a shot at co-driving an event. Okay, cool. For years, never thought, it's like, there's no way I can do this from the passenger seat. I've got to be behind the wheel. But hey, when am I ever going to get to do this? We'll try it. And the first event that Chris Greenhouse and I did together was Rally Colorado, which at the time was one of the fastest overall average speeds of any of the events in the United States.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'll be honest, on the transit out to the first stage, I was like, yep, I'm going to puke. Stomach's rolling knots. And I was thinking, I can't do this. But as soon as we get up to the starting line, light goes green, we take off. Within a mile, I'm going, okay, I think I can do this. The queasiness went away.
Yeah.
And then we get to the transit to the next stage, and okay, here's the belly again, going, But, excuse me. But yeah, I just kept picking up maybe an event or two every season, off and on. Took a couple years off. Co-driven with several local guys. Matt McGee, John Arthurs, Adam Brock out of Cincinnati. Did a few events with Chris Greenhouse from Cincinnati, now in Pittsburgh. And now I'm working with Jason Kodat from the Pittsburgh area with the Dukes of Biohazard Racing Team. Thought the name was hilarious. Come to find out when we met that he's an ER physician in north central Pennsylvania. And with myself having a background in nursing and EMS, it was like, well, this is just a perfect fit. It's like the name gets us lots of attention. But yeah, it's far and away, in my opinion, and I'm sure someone will disagree with me, I'm sure someone will agree with me, rallying is probably the most extreme motorsport on the planet.
I would say so too. It's nasty. It's a nasty sport.
But I mean, you watch the videos online of like the WRC, the World Rally Championship. Those guys, I swear, are from another planet. There's how you can make a car accelerate sideways on gravel is still beyond me. I understand physics. That goes against all the laws of physics. But I mean, like I said, those guys are just at a whole different level. And here in the States, there are several fast guys. There are some really good rally drivers here in the country, and not all of them are in the big, expensive $250,000 cars. The Travis Pastrana, the Brandon Simonox.
He's pretty good.
Travis is hilarious. Travis and I have known each other for close to 20 years now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Super great guy. Just hilarious to hang out with. Hell of a driver. The guy will drive anything.
And he has.
Oh yeah.
He has.
And I used to be friends with Ken Block before he was unfortunately killed in a snowmobile accident.
Yeah. Of all things.
Yeah, exactly.
When I heard he died, I went, "Oh, it must have been a rally car wreck." No,
out snowmobiling. It's like, of all the things. But yeah, that one was kind of a gut punch. Ken was a super great guy. The guy that was his co-driver for a number of years, Alex Gelsomino, who I consider a very, very good friend in the sport. At our first event, he sat down in the lobby of the hotel with me for over an hour, explaining little things to me, and it's like we just bonded over it. And to this day, if I've got a question, I can email him, contact him here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and like I said, these are the big guys. These are guys that do this for a living, and take the time to help little peons like me. It makes you feel good. And like at the events, even in the service area, you can take a bunch of the lower class cars, like where I typically like to co-drive for. If you're having trouble with something on the car, other teams will jump in and help you out.
That makes it nice.
It does. These guys might have a tool that we need and don't have. And the same token, we're not afraid to jump in and help other teams. I've been a couple events past couple years. Co-drivers from other teams, their first time co-driving at whatever event, coming to me for help. And it's like, okay, well, people respect it. Apparently, I think I know what I'm doing. At least like to act like it.
Well, you've all been there before.
Right,
You know
right.
what it's like, try to get over the nerves and.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and then figuring out your time cards and everything. That's what tends to confuse a lot of newer co-drivers. And if you go back and you look through the results, you can see where they've taken a time penalty because they were late or early to a time control. Because it's very orchestrated. Like when we finish a stage, they give us our time for that stage. Then as the co-driver, I have to, on top of giving the driver directions to the next stage, I have to calculate the time. What time do we have to check in at the next control? On the fly. So
It's like, whoa.
it's like, okay, slow down for just a second. Okay, so we have to be at this control at X minute. And you've got a 59-second window to check in. If you check in early, it's 1 minute penalty for every minute you're early. If you're late, it's only 10 seconds for every minute you're late. So they'd rather you be late than check in early, because that means you were probably speeding. And but yeah, they do keep a very tight control on us during the event, time-wise. And even like when we're out doing recce, they've got a GPS satellite tracker on our car. So like if we get busted for speeding during recce, like I was talking about earlier, we're doing it 25, 30, 35 miles an hour. If they see us going 50 for an extended period of time, we're taking a time penalty before we ever start the event.
Has that happened?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And just and they require us to do this. It's an app on our phone that they, like I said, they can GPS track our speed every minute we're active on the stages. And you'll see some of the guys are they'll fly past us, and it's like they probably don't even have the app turned on because there's no way you're driving that speed and going to get away with it. But yeah, it's I love doing it. And I somehow find it strange that my wife encourages me to do this.
I can't imagine.
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes she says she's more nervous because I volunteer on 2 local fire departments, and she's more nervous when I go out on a truck than when I'm in the rally car sometimes. Yeah. So it's like, maybe I should pick safer hobbies. I don't know.
Well, I got one.
Yeah, yours is quite extensive. I love it.
But it's heavy as hell.
Oh, I can imagine trying to move all that.
Oh, it's fun.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd fill up like Walmart bags or whatever.
Yeah.
Pack them out here 2 at a time. They're heavier.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
It's heavy.
I've got mine in a couple milk crates, and I'm just going to use a dolly to move this. I'm getting old. I don't move like I used to.
Now, your current car, what kind of car you running?
The current car we're running right now is a 2004 Focus SVT.
Mm-hmm.
The motor's pretty well stock, mostly for reliability. It's 170, 180 horsepower when it was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason kept the drivetrain pretty well stock, other than maybe like a limited slip differential. Suspension is aftermarket, a little bit heavier duty than what you get by AutoZone. And then obviously the big roll cage, the racing seats with the 6-point harness, all the safety equipment we have to wear in the car.
You guys wear the Hans?
Yeah, we are required to wear the Hans.
Good deal.
Yes, at first they were a little uncomfortable, but after a couple of events, it's like you don't even notice you have it on.
It keeps your head steady.
Well, the only time you really notice it is when you go to turn your head. The way the straps are limited on your movement, like on our transits, when we come to an intersection, it's like I'll unhook one side of my helmet so I can turn my head to look for traffic coming. But then you got to remember to hook it back on. But it's good. Yeah, they made those mandatory about 10, 12 years ago maybe for us.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's a good device that they come out with.
It is. They really are. Like I said, the initial cost when I first bought mine was like $800. But the nice thing is you can have it recertified every 5 years. So I'm still on my original one. They say if you're involved in a heavy accident, you pretty much replace it. But like when I have mine recertified, they put all new straps on it, new foam padding for your shoulders and everything, for like $100.
That ain't bad.
So,
ain't bad at all.
Oh yeah, compared to the price of the new, and they have come down in price, but it's rally is strangely enough is one of the cheaper forms of motorsports to get into. Not that any motorsports are cheap, but
it makes it pretty cool. Though.
I mean, I know guys that have got $20,000 motors in a drag car. It's like, okay. They're like, man, you'll try it. It's like, yeah, it's a straight line.
It's funny because I watch a lot of rally racing, and here lately I've been watching the Australian stock cars.
Oh, okay, the V8 supercars.
Yes.
Yeah, some of those guys
they're crazy.
Oh my. The Australians I've met in my life are all crazy. I think it's in the water. I don't know.
Because the ones I've been watching, it's been like the Ford Mustangs and the Chevy Camaros.
With the Holden Monaro.
Yeah. They're fast.
Oh yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'd like to try road racing at some point just to say I've done it.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, the speed some of those guys are doing is nuts.
Because it was funny because I see you in rallying and stuff. I remember, I think it was me, you, and Bill. Probably someone else with us, probably Goob.
Probably, that's hard to say.
Yeah, we went down to the park and watched that rally.
Yeah.
Where they ramped.
Jumped over the... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think the divots are still in the asphalt, isn't it?
Unless they've repaved it. Yeah, because there were yeah, grooves cut into the road
They
for
were
years.
bad.
Yeah. Well, now with the park stage now, we don't jump there.
Yeah.
We come back behind Chillicothe High School, and where the old railroad
Yeah.
crossed through there, we hit that jump.
But that's pretty fun.
It's pretty wild. We did that. Was it 2 years ago? It was with John Arthur's in the old Fox Body Mustang. We hit that jump at about 70 miles an hour in a Mustang.
Wow.
Strangely enough, it landed pretty well.
Oh,
Yeah, you would have thought being nose heavy to. But yeah, it actually landed pretty well flat on all four.
had the V8 in it.
Yeah, no, he had a 2.34 cylinder.
Oh, okay.
Naturally aspirated. Wasn't even turbo. So
I mean, it's amazing what you can do from 4 cylinders now.
oh, it is. It's great. Yeah,
It's stupid.
trust me. Yes.
It's like in my wife's Ford Ranger out there. It's the newer one.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got the 4-cylinder turbo in it. And
Yeah.
It's like 280 horsepower.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Thing will fly.
Yeah.
It'll get it.
And it's amazing. Some of these big full-size trucks are coming with turbo 4 cylinders.
Oh,
I mean, you can tow 10,000 pounds with a 4-cylinder.
yeah. It's all about the transmission.
A lot of it's in the gearing.
And the ass end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, you know.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if you've been keeping up with F1 all that much.
yeah.
Boy, they really juggled the drivers like crazy this year.
This past season they did. Yeah, it was like just throw the names in a hat and draw them out. It's like who's going to what team.
Which I'm putting this out here right now. I think Lewis Hamilton will win the championship.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping the same thing. Yeah,
Straight to Ferrari.
I mean, if you're going for number 8, I think he's probably at the spot to do it.
Yeah, he's in a hell of a spot.
And I got a feeling Ferrari is going to throw everything they can at the car.
And they did. They have already.
Oh yeah,
You know, within regulations.
right. There's no gray area. But I mean, even with Leclerc as a teammate.
I do know. He will push you.
Oh yeah,
He will push.
absolutely. And I know there are Max Verstappen fans out there. Personally, I can't stand the guy.
Yeah. He's a hell of a driver.
He's a hell of a driver. Don't get me wrong.
That car was on skates last year.
Oh, it was on rails. It's just, yeah. I can remember. Oh gosh, what was it? Back in the early 2000s, before my dad passed away, we went to the U.S. Grand Prix at Indianapolis, and that was in the old V10 era.
Oh, they're loud.
Oh my God! It just sounded like a buzzing hornet flying past, and it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, they're beautiful cars too.
Oh.
They were all set up.
And the technology in those cars. Eventually, some of it trickles down to the street cars.
Yeah.
To the major manufacturers will go, well, we can try this safety system and engine management and everything else, but it's like, I mean, I don't know that I'd trust myself to be behind the wheel of a car where the steering wheel is $100,000.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh my gosh.
See, I think Verstappen's he's going to have a good year. But I think, like say, Hamilton, he will.
I think
He will get his 8th, but I think Lando.
Lando and
Right on.
I think Lando and Oscar are both going to. The McLaren, I think, is going to be
push
up
it.
there.
Yeah.
Those two push each other very well, and they race clean each other.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Which, oh yeah, I'm sure the team principals are going. Don't
Don't wreck
each other.
I mean, that happened already.
Oh yeah.
I forget who in the hell. Because Verstappen, he was there. But he was a rookie, I believe.
It was his early seasons. It was like, believe Danny Ricciardo.
Yeah.
They just took each other out.
Right to the wall, and everyone's like, oh my God, you guys are funny. And then they get out throwing their hands up, they're like, what?
Like, what'd you do? It was like, yeah, you're both at fault, but okay. Whatever, you just trashed $2 million race cars.
A piece.
Oops.
They're crazy.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, the driving talent those guys have got.
Oh my God.
And just the physical conditioning they go through is unbelievable.
Well, the same could be said about rally drivers, too.
True.
I mean, just to be a rally driver itself, because I've watched videos, the dude's not even blinking.
Yeah, some of those guys, it's insane. But yeah, it's definitely, it is a motorsport all of its own. I mean, you're combining, to an extent, you've got drifting.
Yeah. The worst.
Sort of. And you've got, some of the like technology from F1. We've got, the safety. The roll cage in these cars is ridiculous. Even the lower speed cars like I typically am in, our roll cage is designed to, if you suspend the car upside down from 10 feet, drop it on the roof, that the roll cage won't deform.
That's a good thing.
So so when I see guys have been in a big impact and you see that it's bent the cage or deformed the cage, and you're just thinking, how much energy did that steel tubing absorb to bend?
Trees. Well,
trees don't move. And unfortunately here in the U.S. we've had 4 or 5 drivers or co-drivers have been killed in the past 3 years, which is, the sport here in the States went, it was like 17 years without a fatality, and then we've had like 4 or 5 in the past 3 years. It's just, and it's due to no fault of the driver or the co-driver. It could have been something as simple as a control arm broke, a bushing broke, you lose control of the car. Road conditions changed since we went through and did recce. It could have rained overnight. Some of the events it could have snowed overnight. And is it dangerous? Sure. Any form of motorsports is dangerous. It's just how far do you want to push the boundaries of your mental safety? Because as the co-driver, I've got to keep absolute concentration on what I'm doing. And it's funny, everybody, so many people over the years are like, man, you ought to put a GoPro on your helmet. Well, here's what you're going to see from my helmet.
The floor.
This, look up. And you're going to listen to me scribbling, reading off this gibberish written on the page. That it's a special kind of shorthand. You'd have to see it to comprehend, and I've got to be able to look at it, translate it, read it to my driver quick. And I'm sometimes, depending on the event and how the stages are set up, I might be 2 or 3 corners ahead of where we're actually at. But it's giving the driver time to know how he wants to get the car set up for come out of this corner into this one, and can you cut this corner a little bit? Do you not want to cut that corner because there's a culvert in it?
I can't imagine hitting one of them running about 120 miles an hour.
I've seen it done. I've never been experienced of it, but I have seen it happen. Like literally, we'll pull the entire suspension out of the corner, control arm, strut, the entire thing in one piece.
Gone. Gone.
He's laying back there in the ditch somewhere. Go back and pick that up, Johnny.
Now, whenever that happens, like a wreck or something like that, it just jerks everything out underneath the car. Is there like a crew that comes by and just picks all that shit up, puts it back to truck?
Well, there's at the end of the stage, after the last car's gone through, they have what they call sweep vehicles, which is usually guys in big 4-wheel drive trucks, and a lot of times they've got a big heavy winch, like if the car's down over a bank, so they can try to retrieve the car back up to the road for that team to come pick their car up. A lot of events will run the same stages twice. So we'll run this one and we may run it 3 hours from now. If that's the case, if the car's off the road somewhere, or it's in a safe area where it's not anywhere on the competition road, so to speak, you might be pulled off on a clearing. Well, if it's off the racing line, okay, they'll leave the car. They won't give you the opportunity to retrieve your car until after the second running of that stage. And I've seen a handful of them where they were so far down over a bank that even the truck with a 10,000-pound winch couldn't pull the Subaru Impreza out. It was like,
that's a lot of dead weight.
Yeah, especially when it's hung up on a tree or a tree stump, or
That's not good.
yeah, then you have to pay the tow bill for a towing company to come out and actually retrieve the car.
That's nasty, man.
Oh, some of those can get a little pricey.
Now, you remember how Group C used to be? Now, do the fans themselves do that crazy ass?
Not in the United States.
Good thing.
Yeah, we are here in the States. The two major sanctioning bodies, the American Rally Association and NASA Rally Sports, they're pretty strict on the spectator areas.
Yeah.
They're actually designated areas that provides utmost safety for the spectators and for the team, for the competitors. They're pretty good ways off the road in a well taped off area, and regardless of where you're at, how well they orchestrate it, if you're going to find spectators in non-authorized areas, but here in the States they don't try to impede with the cars.
Yeah,
This is one thing I've noticed over the years all over the country. The people will not try to reach out and touch the car as you come by, like the old Group B cars. It's like those cars were out of control anyway.
That was Group B, right?
The Group B,
They had free reign of whatever.
Yes, yeah. And then they used to call them the Killer Bees for a reason.
Yes.
Those cars were insane. But it's interesting because today's WRC cars are just as fast as those were.
Yeah. 4 cylinders, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder.
Twin turbo?
Some of them might be a twin turbo. Single turbo with anti-lag, which is where you get the big fireball and the pop, 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 pop. Yeah, the crack it shotgun blast out the tailpipe.
I find that cool as hell.
Oh, it's cool as can be, especially at night when you get behind one, you can see that fireball popping out of them. The downside to anti-lag is that it destroys the internals of the turbo after about 600 to 700 miles.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, because what it does is it's firing raw fuel. It'll misfire an injector on the exhaust stroke, so it's pushing raw fuel going through the manifold, through the manifold into the turbo, which is about 1,000 degrees. Well, it just ignites and it just pop, and
That's where you get that pop.
that's where you get that popping noise, and yeah, it just keeps the turbo spooled up, so you don't lose any power.
Yeah.
And that's where you get that fireball at the tailpipe. That's just unburnt fuel. I mean, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, because I'd watch that. I mean, people just everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. They will get, like I said, they'll stand right along the edge of the road and try to touch the car as it comes by at 100 miles an hour.
It's like no.
Yeah, let that mirror smack your hand at 100. See where your hand is. It's back here by your elbow.
It's flopping around. Yeah, I know they really put the kibosh on it when they had that one real bad wreck.
Henry Toivonen.
Yeah, car flipped.
Yeah, multiple times. Caught on fire. Yeah, that was a horrible wreck.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
And it was another one where a car actually did flip. It rolled into the crowd.
Yes. Yeah, I don't remember which driver it was, but yeah, I remember that one.
That was a bad one.
Yeah.
I think it was those two things right there.
Those were the ones that pretty much
Sealed
sealed the fate of the Group B cars. Yeah. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Because I know, was it Lancia? Had the, was it the Delta S4?
Yeah.
That was supercharged and turbocharged? I mean, it's like as soon as you fired it up, it was on boost. It was like...
I was like, how do you do that?
I've tinkered with cars for 40 years. I still don't understand how to do that one.
I mean, they had that shit down packed.
Oh, yeah.
They were just...
They were like just from a whole other world.
I can hear the mechanic. Hey, I got a plan.
Hey, I got an idea.
We'll see if this works. If the engine doesn't blow, we can run it. That's probably what they're
see how well it holds together. And oh, man, I mean, that was when like the carbon fiber and the composites were just starting to come to the forefront. And in a lot of those cars, the fiberglass, carbon fiber bodies. And it was like, well, fiberglass burns. Quick.
It melts over it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, to go back and play like some of the rally video games, and it's like, oh, I want to drive a Group B, and then I'm going, Jesus.
No.
Let me go back to '93 Yugo and see what I can do here.
Now, have you ever had the opportunity to actually get in like what Travis drives? Or anything like that?
I have been in what was it? Back in the late 2000s, 2008-ish, 2009. I was at an event up in Minnesota, was crewing for a guy, and there was a driver, his co-driver got sick overnight, and I had just gotten in the habit of always taking my driving suit, helmet, and everything to the events.
You never know.
Because you never know. Yeah. So they're running around the service area on Saturday morning trying to find a co-driver that can jump in this GT class Subaru WRX with this guy. I was like, Well,
Right here.
no, actually, what happened was Alex Gelsomino, Ken Block's co-driver,
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, go check with this team, see if Phil's here."
Like, okay.
What? Okay. I've never co-driven a car this fast. And yeah, there was we come off the starting line on one stage, 122 miles an hour on gravel before we had to get on the brakes for a corner. It was ridiculous. And that was only like my third event I'd ever co-driven. We ended up we podiumed. We ended up third in class.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I might be getting the hang of this. But like with Chris Greenhouse and his SRT Neon, it's a well-built car. We were at Snowdrift up in Michigan on snow and ice-covered roads. 109 miles an hour on snow. Without studded tires.
Without studded.
Yeah, you are not allowed to run studded tires in the state of Michigan.
I can't just imagine that speed on snow.
Well, I couldn't imagine on gravel. Now picture being on snow. It's like, jeez.
I mean, it's got to be, mind-numbing to a degree.
It's one of those things where, because I've got the rally computer in front of me, it's got a speedometer on it, so I can see the speeds we're going.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys I've worked with over the years are like, especially on the fast straights, like when we're doing recce, we'll know, okay, this is going to be a really fast section.
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell me, don't tell me the speeds. Wait till the end of the stage and then tell me how fast we got. Okay. And I'll be looking up going, don't say it. Wow.
That's funny.
But yeah, so it's one of those weird things. It's an adrenaline rush. For even in the passenger seat, it's an adrenaline rush.
Oh, okay.
But it's, like you said, it's kind of mind numbing because I've got to stay so focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And God forbid I get dyslexic and call a left turn a right, and we set the car up to go this way, and the road went there. Oops. My bad.
It's funny because I've watched videos and stuff, and the drivers just absolutely rip into the.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I screw up, tell me.
But I mean, they're like, really?
And there have been times where we'll make a goofy mistake, and we'll spend the next half a mile giggling and laughing like a bunch of schoolgirls in the car because it's just like, oh my god, that was funny. Oh shit.
No, them cars are pretty tight though to sit in, aren't they?
Yeah, the seat is pretty snug. I mean, if you want to spend the money, you can have the seat custom formed to fit your body. But I'm comfortable with an off-the-shelf seat. They're made to pretty high standards. It's a one-piece seat. It doesn't recline. This is what you got. Okay. But yeah, they've got what they call the halo, which is the big ears up here that kind of help hold your head in place even more. Which is a big improvement in the seats in the past 4 or 5 years that those have really started becoming more prevalent. And they're constantly updating safety standards. The FIA, which is the International Motorsports Regulatory Commission, so to speak, they come up with all these regulations for this type of racing or this type of racing. Well, you're going to have to use this type of seat that meets this standard that we've developed. Okay, so now you got to look. Okay, does this seat meet this? Mm-hmm. Like our like the 6-point harness. They're only good for 5 years and you have to replace them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or if you're obviously in a big wreck, the belts will stretch, kind of like in a street car.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good enough wreck in a street car, that seatbelt's never going to be the same.
Yeah.
The webbing stretches, the inertia reels and everything in a street car. We don't have that much. We've got the same material on the belt, but it's secured to either the roll cage or to the floor of the car, into the structural members of the car. It's not just an eye bolt through 1/4-inch sheet metal floorboard. It's into the actual structural part of the car. So we're secured in the car. Not saying we don't still take a beating, but we're not bouncing around. Yeah, sliding around in the seat. And,
Yeah, like say, the seat itself is going to just cram you in there.
yeah, they're pretty snug. Yeah,
You're like, it's
it's like my seat in Jason's car. This is no joke. I can barely put two hands between my rib cage and the side of the seat, so I'm not moving much lateral. And the other time I cinch the belts down, and like myself, and I'm sure a lot of drivers and co-drivers in any series do the same thing. Basically, when you go to cinch your belts down for the final time, exhale, blow all the air, and then crank it down to where it's like, all right, okay, yeah, we're good. So, yeah, I'm pretty well secured in the car.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that, things can't happen. I mean, sometimes you take more of a risk driving from here to Walmart.
Yeah. You do.
The way some of these people drive anymore.
Oh my God. Well, a lot of them are like this.
Well, then there's that, yeah. Well, I'm not reading a book, but it's kind of a weird looking atlas, but there's no pictures.
Just writing.
It's all these letters.
You guys haven't had any bad accidents?
No, I've been fortunate. The guys that I've ran with over the years, we've had a couple minor offs here and there, but nothing debilitating or it caused any injuries.
It's like, oh boy, I need to rethink this.
Yeah, a few spin outs here and there, miss a corner.
Whoops.
Yeah, a few mechanical DNFs, but I've never, knock on wood, as the co-driver, of all the guys I've worked with over the years, we've never DNF'd because of a wreck or because of a bad call that I made.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the perfect co-driver because I'm not, and I'll be the first to admit it.
It's like, because I watched one video you posted and stuff. It's like a right hand turn. No, it's left hand turn. Or something like that.
Yeah,
That was funny. That's real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not a video game. It's not some computer generated voice telling you that you've got this going. No, it's a real person.
That's one thing I like about, like, say, rally racing and F1, man. That's just so intense to watch.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's like how these guys keeping their head together, even like F1. I mean, them curves are
Oh, and the speeds they're going through them.
200 mile an hour, and you slow down to 120, take a 90-degree turn. It's like, how
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How do you make a car handle like that?
Yeah. And the same thing, like you were talking about, taking these curves, going down a dirt road 120 mile an hour, and you have an ongoing curve, and he juices it up to 125. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, it's
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
and it's interesting because like in the lower powered cars, I don't like to use the term slower cars because we're still driving at ridiculous speeds. Where we might be doing, say, 65 or 70 on this section of the road in the Focus, the guys like Travis and those guys at the front of the field, the open class cars, they might be doing 90 or 100 on that same stretch of road. But there's a difference when your car's built to do that.
Especially in open class cars, man, they're just jacked.
Oh yeah, they've pretty much got the open rule book, and some of those guys have an open checkbook to build the car.
Well, Travis can do it.
Well, Subaru's paying for his car.
There you go.
Yeah, Subaru pays for his car.
What kind of horsepower are those putting out? About 500 or something?
No, believe it or not, they're probably in the neighborhood about 350.
350.
Yeah. Which is still not, it's still, crazy to think that you're putting that kind of power on a gravel road and accelerate like that.
Yeah. And
the tires is a big part of that too. Which,
that's a world of difference right there.
Yeah, you got to try it on snow tires and you're going, this is a little sketchy. But if you got and do the same thing on a set of actual rally gravel tires, the grip going sideways is retarded. It's like, oh my God, how can a tire have this kind of traction on gravel?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's amazing, but yet you get them on like a wet paved road. Oh, they're horrible. Oh yeah, they're they're
real sketchy.
Get a little sketchy on wet pavement, yeah, or snow. I've driven one on drove a buddy's car on snow on gravel tires. That was, yeah, I'm doing 25 miles an hour down like Route 50. Oh yeah, it's like, oh my god.
You're that bad?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Why is that? I mean,
A lot of it's just the way the tread design and the tread compounds and stuff. They're, you know, we've got like soft, medium, and hard compound tires. The softer compounds do better at lower temperatures. They get up to the temperature where they are optimal grip a little bit quicker, but they wear out faster. Kind of like in NASCAR or, you know, Indy cars or whatever. You can go with the softer compound tire. You're going to have more grip quicker, but you're going to wear the tire out quicker because it's just the composition of the tread compound makes a big difference. And then you can take like stink bugs.
they're everywhere.
Oh, I know. They're horrible out our way too.
Oh my god.
But then you get like the harder compound tires. They take a little longer to get up to temperature, but they last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So
Like a good Michelin.
yeah, well, like the F1 tires.
Yeah.
You know, you get soft, medium, and hard compound.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same way. And then like if an event's going to be, say, it's going to rain, the roads are going to get a little muddy, we can actually go through and cut the tread on those tires to open them up a little bit more to help clear that mud and crap out of them.
Now, would you be using like a snow tire maybe and something like mud? To get that kicked out or whatever?
Really, the best way to do that would be to just cut your gravel tires. Now, like the Snowdrift, the one in Michigan I was just talking about earlier, that one we pretty much just run street snow tires. They don't make a competition snow tire per se. Michelin does. They're like this wide, but they're like $400 a piece, and you have to import them from Europe because nobody in the States carries them. So most guys I know just run snow tires, like the Blizzaks or you know some of the higher end
tires.
The Bridgestone Blizzak's really good tire. Yes, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's funny because I've watched, like, say, once again, videos on YouTube. The rallies over in Europe, they take some, like, these Yugos.
Oh, those guys will race anything.
Oh, my God. They're funny. I mean, they're actually funny to watch, but, man, you got to have the shit they do with them.
Well, now, I've got a buddy of mine, Adam Brock, down in Cincinnati. Super great guy. Hell of a roll cage fabricator. This guy will travel across the country to build roll cages for people in all types of motorsports. He rallies a Volvo 242. Wouldn't have been my first choice, but hey, he likes it. It's easy to work on. He's built a car the way he wants it.
Yeah.
And I remember he posted.
Can't argue with that.
No, exactly. Yeah, I remember he posted something on Facebook here a couple years ago that I still get a chuckle out of it. It said, anything can be a race car if your balls are big enough.
It's true, too.
So it's like, okay, I like the logic. Like I said, I've been in everything from an 88 Toyota Corolla that had like 83 horsepower. Yeah, pretty much. Long straightaway, you're flat to the floor doing 83 miles an hour. It's like, oh, okay.
Sort of.
Ish. And I've been in a Mustang. I've been in a couple Subarus. Been in a Volkswagen Rabbit that was really fun. A couple Neons, and now this year, started last season. This year again, I'll be with Jason in the Focus. I mean, the nice thing with some of these cars is you can still go to junkyards and find parts if you need them.
That makes it nice, too.
It helps.
Yeah. You see where NASCAR, of course, it's been a few years now in the making what they've been doing. Actually implementing more road courses in the schedule, which is great.
Oh, I love it.
Throws them out of whack.
It just goes against, and nothing against the NASCAR fans. I know NASCAR is based. It's predominantly the ovals, but I like when they throw them on a road course, street circuit, permanent road course like Mid Ohio or Sonoma or whatever, because it takes those guys a little bit out of their comfort zone, so to speak.
That's what you want.
But it really gives you a better test of how good is that driver's true driving ability. You know, you take the guys like the Tony Stewarts, the Kyle Larsons, these guys, you put them in a shopping cart with a go-kart motor, and they're going to be fast. They can drive anything and make it quick.
Robbie Gordon.
Robbie Gordon was a good. I remember, you know, watching him in Indy cars back in the 90s.
Because I think when he left NASCAR, then he went into like the truck series and stuff.
Yeah.
Now he does the
does like the Score Baja 1000 and the off-road events. Yeah.
Those guys are nuts too.
A good friend of mine in Columbus, a guy by the name of Ryan Scott. He co-drives a lot of rallies in the U.S. and Canada. But he also co-drives a couple for a guy in the Baja 1000. He's done like the Baja 500, the 1000, the Desert Series. I'm going.
It takes a different breed.
It does. And there's times I'll be the first to admit that, you know, co-driving a rally car, driving a rally car, it's not for everybody. You know, somebody will be like, "Oh, I'd like to try to do what you do." Well, can you read a book in a car going down the road?
I get a headache.
Some people are like, "Well, I get car sick trying to read." Okay, you don't want to do this because it's, you know, and it's not for everyone. My wife will tell you, she's like, "There's no way I could do it." She's like, "I don't see how you do it sometimes."
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's. I won't necessarily say that it's something inherently ingrained into your brain that says, yeah, you're an adrenaline junkie or you're an idiot. Yeah, you can do this. But it's not for everyone.
Yeah. I think, to be honest with you, I think everybody has that adrenaline junkie in them, but it's in a way on how to put it out there.
How do you feed that?
Yeah.
You know, you take, you know, an 80-year-old woman, her adrenaline rush might be going to the yarn shop to buy new yarn to knit a sweater.
You know, she's getting jacked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I got to do this.
Oh, I saw a pattern. I got to try this.
Yeah.
Okay, great, Grandma. Have at it. But, you know, and then you get the guys like Travis Pastrana. Well, let's see. I'm going to jump out of an airplane.
No parachute.
With no parachute in just a pair of gym shorts with a Red Bull. And somebody's going to jump out a minute later and catch me. What? Is there a wire loose in your brain?
He's not wired like nobody else.
But, you know, to sit and talk with him one-on-one, just like, you know, he and I, we've sat down over a couple drinks over the years. Just casual, you know, chit-chat here and there. Everybody thinks Travis is just this spur of the moment. Oh, I got this wild hair up my ass. Let's try this.
He runs it through.
It's been ran through in his head, and everything's all engineered out.
Yeah.
It's not one of those, hey, let's try and jump a big wheel across the Grand Canyon. No, it's already been plotted how to figure it out. How do we do that? Yeah, but still
too simple as hell.
But still, just to want to go do that on purpose, I'm going. Yeah, it's
yeah, like say, you know, he's wired a little bit different than everybody else.
Than the average person, yeah, far away.
Everybody in his little gang.
Oh, the whole guys, yeah, the whole gang at Nitro Circus.
Yeah, I always find it funny. It's like the dude in the wheelchair does his backflip and he lands on his head. I went, I hate to say it, but you're already paralyzed. You know?
What? Well, at least he was wearing a helmet.
You know, going back to the they're just different.
No, yeah, the adrenaline sport guys they're a different breed. They're a whole different breed from anything I'm ever.
Yeah. But,
although, granted, you know, I mean, you and I've known each other forever. When we were teenagers, I was known to do some stupid shit.
Well, your brother was too.
Yeah, well.
Was like, your dad just got that, I think, that Nissan, that gold Nissan.
Yeah. Oh, when Billy wrecked it?
Yeah.
It spun through that yard.
It's funny because me and Ann were talking about that the other day when we was coming into town. We went right by where Mrs. Hansberry used to live. I told Ann, I said, how? She had to back the car out of the driveway to get the car out of the yard. And the thing is, it just nicked the tree, and we fit right in between.
Slid between was it a fence post or the fence and the tree?
It had a tree and her car, like this big old New Yorker.
Okay.
It's green or blue.
So, yeah.
And how in the hell we fit it, and he just nicked the tree.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when he nicked the tree, the frame went.
Yeah. Yeah, it did a number on that car.
Oh my, it was so funny. It wasn't funny, but it was funny.
At the time, it was probably scary as all get out, but looking back,
We were like, oh shit.
30-some years ago when that happened, what was that? Oh God, that was...
we were teenagers.
Yeah, you guys were still in school. I think I had graduated. You guys were still like juniors or seniors or something. It was, yeah, I remember it.
Because I know they just put that loose gravel down, you know.
Yeah, they just chip sealed the road. And, yep.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit. Miss Hansberry's car's right there. Like, I still do not believe how we missed that damn car. I cannot.
Oh, yeah.
I've replayed this probably a million times in my head.
Oh, sure.
And she comes out, she goes, oh my gosh, you kids okay? I'm fine.
I need to change my shorts, but...
It was weird, you know, because that was back in a time, you know, you didn't have to wear a seatbelt.
Oh, yeah. Seatbelts were,
They got in the way.
They were recommended. They weren't required.
Now, no matter where I go.
Oh, yeah. Even when I jump on an engine or the rescue truck or whatever, any emergency vehicle, it's the first thing I do, seatbelt.
Yeah. Better safe and sorry.
And unfortunately, I've cut too many people out of cars over the years that,
Seatbelts are...
They're there for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not just decorations.
Ain't that just... I lost their shit.
Oh yeah, looking back, it's a wonder. Made it past the age of 16, and it was like, well, I made it past 18. Oh, well, I made it past 21. Okay, well, I've hit 25, and now I just turned 57 a couple weeks ago. I'm going. Looking back, it's a wonder I'm still alive or can walk.
Oh my! Because I remember the dumb shit we used to do in the AMX.
I was just thinking. I saw a picture of one of those the other day, and I was like, God, I remember.
Yeah, your brother posted one on Facebook. It was red. I said, man, that red's sharp. That old black one.
Do you remember the night you and I were out there with that, trying to work that can of Bondo and fill that great big ass dent?
Oh my God!
Neither one of us knew what we were doing.
Because that 2 before, boom,
Trying to beat that thing out.
But yeah, it was funny because when the car took us to the mines, right there on Anderson Station Road, remember when they had that bridge that went over the top?
Oh, the old Clinton Road Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, Clinton Road.
Yeah.
And my car caught on fire right there, right before you get into the bridge and stuff, because you couldn't go straight.
Right. Well, yeah, the road used to end.
Yeah.
Dead end right there.
You had to go.
Yeah, right there on Pleasant Valley, yeah.
It caught on fire. I have a brand new jean jacket. Boom! Trying to
beat flames out, yeah.
And I look over, you, Bill, and Dwayne Weaver were like, it was funny, you know what happened before that? Because Dad towed me to Elder Bierman's.
Okay.
I remember they had like an alleyway in between Elder Bierman's and that tire shop.
Yeah.
Well, all hell broke loose. Something was going on, like a bag drug deal or someone's messing with someone, whatever.
So, yeah.
It smacked into another car and he took off back behind it.
Okay.
Raising all kinds of hell. Dad goes, what the hell going on there? I said, that's something that they got to deal with.
I can remember, I can picture your dad just standing there going, what the hell are they doing?
Oh, the funniest thing. Oh my God. Well, Mike Parsons had that Skylark. He came up to the house. He didn't have no damn doors on it.
Okay.
Well, Dad goes, hey, can I take that for a spin? Mike goes, yeah, as long as I ride with you. Okay, cool. Okay. Dad pulled out of the driveway and took off down toward Grandma and Grandpa's sideways. You can hear Mike, just screaming. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Did you ever hear the story about me driving Mark Hennis's Firebird?
Yeah. That Firebird was nice.
That car would move.
Yeah.
Mark was, he was always a good friend to me, but one of the worst drivers I've ever known in my entire life. 45, 50 miles an hour, he's all over the road. He's like, well, there's something wrong with the steering in it.
I'm not driving fast enough.
So the one day we come home from school and we stopped in Bourneville to get Mountain Dew like we always did, and it was Mark, my brother Billy, Brent Beaver, and myself. Well, Mark from Paint Valley to Bourneville, Mark's pissed. Put you to the road. We stopped there at the little market there by the firehouse. And I was like, hey, Mark, why don't you let me drive? You sit in the back, you talk comic books or whatever you and Billy were talking about. Me and Brown sit up front, you guys sit back. Okay, just be careful. Got it. That long straightaway coming out of Bourneville towards Chillicothe, I just opened it up. 110 miles an hour. I go, I don't think there's anything wrong with the steering. I said, we're doing 110. This thing's going straight as an arrow. And he's like, we're going, what? Brett's leaning over going, yeah, it's 110. He says, yeah, it's tracking pretty. He said, it's not at 100. It's not at 100. He's like, you can't go 100 miles an hour in my car. And I was like, well, we already are. He never let me drive it again.
Remember I had my Nova?
Yeah.
I came by and picked you and Billy up. We were going to school and stuff. Cruising down Route 50, so right before we get to Paint Valley, that straightaway. I passed Mrs. Arrington.
Probably doing like 12 miles an hour. It's like, wow. Was that when was it the donut gasket blew out of it or something? It just all of a sudden, it just loud as all get out.
Well, I get called to the office. Why are you driving like a man? What? Miss Arrington was great. No problem,
Great teacher. I mean, absolute wonderful mentor to so many students over her career.
Yes.
And she just lived down the street from us. I mean, her and her husband, they were great neighbors.
Yeah, right there on the curve.
Yeah, right there on the curve. Yeah. And they were just great neighbors. That old man, you could go down there with, hey, I think the chain broke on my bike. He would sit and work on your bike for you.
Yeah.
Never wanted anything in return other than saying thanks.
Yeah, just a friendly fellow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how she was too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of the teachers we had growing up they were all that way. Some of them were a little off, but Mr. Weaver.
Remember Big Bertha, that big ass 4-foot paddle?
Yeah.
It was so funny.
It was like a cricket bat.
It was.
I think it was.
Like Crabtree. I never wanted to get cracked by him.
Oh, that paper thin. It was like wafer thin with
There was a couple holes nailed in, drilled through it, and he just fucked his wrist.
Yeah.
That's funny because
I think the only thing worse was Hot Wheels track.
He busted PJ's ass, and I think someone else. They were jumping a damn sander from table to table. He just standing there, leaned up against the wall watching. Well, it hits the floor. He goes, all right, boys, let's have a talk. He goes, gather around, everybody. He goes, all right, you two up against the wall.
Do you remember the time, what was the janitor? Went in over the weekend, used all the shop equipment to butcher the pig.
Was that Manuel?
Yeah, Rick Manuel. Don Manuel. Yeah, Rick was his boy that was in school with us. Yeah, I was like, they did what? I never took shop class, but I know you don't.
You don't do that. Shit was so fun. Remember when Phil Hurley beat the piss out of Grider?
Yeah. Now, which one of the remember the two Cummings brothers?
Yeah.
Ferris and John. I don't remember which one of them it was. I think it was John. Had him for like 8th grade science. Because I remember we were down in the junior high end of the school, and we had some project because he had a different project every 9 weeks, a bug collection or a leaf collection. I didn't do it. I was like, this is stupid. There's not that many bugs around my house. I had like 3. You're supposed to have 20. Yeah. So I got in trouble for that one. And for whatever reason, decided that was worth a couple whacks. So he takes me out in the hallway, and he says, looks at me and he goes, okay, he says, I'm going to make you a deal. He says, and I'm going, okay, you're an 8th grade kid. What's the deal? You're going to give me a pack of baseball cards if I do my work?
That's a good deal.
Yeah, I took it. But he goes, He goes, I'm going to let you take the first whack. However hard you hit me, that's how hard I'm going to hit you.
That's a hell of a deal.
Well, you know he's expecting you're going to get this little...
Yeah.
Nope. I was like, this is probably my only chance to ever do this.
1, 2, 3.
I drew back both hands like I was swinging for the center field. I hit him so hard his belt hit the blockers. I was like, yeah, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt like hell. But he turned around and looked at me and he goes, you're the first person that's ever had the audacity to do that. He goes, why? Figure's the only chance I'm ever going to get to hit a teacher and get away with it. So.
What was it called?
And it wasn't like we were violent kids. It was just like we were more smartasses than we were anything. But
what was it? Pauly Shore said, "You leave me eat the glaze." Or what was it? You leave me the donuts, I'm going to glaze them.
You give it a chance, I'm taking it. And then he didn't hit me near as hard as I waylaid him. I was like, oh, this would have been borderline abuse at this point.
And he used to give you strikes if you lean back on your...
Oh, yeah, if you were leaning back in your chair. That's just
I know the first time he nailed my ass on that stuff, he goes, this is going to hurt me worse than it hurt you. So I very seriously doubt that.
I don't think so.
Then he goes, pick your foot up. I'm like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Smack a bum on my shoe. He goes, you get out of jail free card, you go back in there and tell him it hurt. All right.
Yeah, John was the one that was more, he was more of a funnier person than Ferris was, but, and again, they were both very good teachers. I mean, they honestly cared about their students.
Yeah.
Which, and nothing against the teachers today, they've got it so much tougher with these kids. Just, I see them every day at the prison. It's
bad. It's very bad.
No one ever told you no growing up is part of your problem.
Yeah. It's true, too.
Versus, we used to get the belt therapy or yardstick or
whatever's handy.
The paddle ball game with the missing string.
The good old days, I guess.
Yeah, if we broke the rubber band, we just threw it out. I was like, nope, Mom ain't getting hold of that one. So what'd Mom do? Found a piece of Hot Wheel track. Stuff still terrorizes me. You hear a whistle coming through the air.
Or what you do, just bend them that way they break and away.
Yeah, take an X-Acto knife and split them down the middle. Oh, why the cars don't run?
Son of a bitch, gotta get a new track.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were idiots.
That was fun times, though.
But, oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of those, it's like, I would love to be able to go back to some of the stupid stuff we did as a youth or just dumb decisions we made with the knowledge that I have now. Mm-hmm. And look at my younger self and go, yeah, hold on, dummy. You might not want to do this.
I reckon that's a great part of growing up.
Yeah.
As a stupid kid doing dumb shit.
And, yeah, we survived it, so.
Remember one time about ran Bill over. He was on the hood of my Nova and shit. And I went, wow, slammed on the brakes and hit the gas again. It's like, oh my God.
My wife and I, Karen and I, we were sitting on the couch here. I was on it last week. We were sitting watching TV, and I don't remember what we were watching. And she goes, so what's one of the dumbest things you ever did that your mom never knew about?
Oh, right.
Well, okay, so here I'm going to air it out. It's 40 years later. I think the statute of limitations has expired.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
She won't.
Yeah, no, my mom.
What the hell?
Okay, those of you that grew up in our area, years ago back there, at the intersection of Maple Grove and Anderson Station, there was the big railroad trestle.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that little 3-foot platform out in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Those little angle iron rails?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody at this table decided, I want to stand on that little 3-foot square platform, hold on to this, jury-rigged, welded up angle iron railing around it, hold on to it when a freight train come by. Which, out in the rural areas, those trains were coming by 50, 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You would not believe the side draft that comes off one of those coming past you. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Hold on.
Yeah, that was probably one of the dumbest things I ever did. And out of high school, I worked a couple different local pizza shops, the old Papadino's.
Oh, yeah.
still the best pizza I've ever had.
Ate a few of them.
Yeah, you and me both. We'd get off work at like 1 in the morning and go out to Kroger's on Bridge Street. When it used to be Kmart where Lowe's is. Mm-hmm. And then where Hobby Lobby is was Hills, but there was not the pass through the parking lot. There was that big ditch with the 6-foot chain link fence. And we weren't even drinking. We were sober when we did some of this stupid stuff. We all drove little at the time it was the mid to late 80s, we all drove little pickups, S10s, Toyotas, Nissans, whatever. One of us would get in a shopping cart, push it with a pickup truck up to about 20 miles an hour, and the truck would stand on the brakes. And you had to try to get the shopping cart stopped and get out of it before you hit the parking blocks and hit that fence in that ditch. We were out there doing this one night. We weren't paying attention. We're just being stupid. And like I said, I think I was in the cart. And we may have had a football helmet on. It was like maybe. We should have been wearing helmets. The guy driving the pickup hits the brakes, and I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing stopped without rolling over and killing myself. And all of a sudden, I happen to look back and you see red and blues light up, and it's like, oh shit! It was a buddy of ours from the police department. We'd known him for years. He just comes up to us. There's about 6 of us standing there. Like I said, we were sober. We weren't even drinking. He just walks over to us and he goes, "What the hell are you idiots doing?" It's like, well, we come up with this stupid idea. He's like, yeah, that's definitely stupid. He's like, looks like fun though. He goes, just quit. He's like, I can't even give you a ticket. He says, it's not against the law to be stupid, but come on.
It's funny that you mentioned cops and stuff, because remember when Pettiford ran the pickup truck and stuff, come pick up cars and stuff?
Oh, yeah, Pettiford, yeah. Old Rich.
He's the one who came by when me and Bill met Mrs. Hansberry.
Right.
He goes, "Oh, what we got here?" Of course, your dad was there.
Oh, yeah.
Your dad was going, "Hey, man, it's just a car."
Yeah. And, Dad and Rich had been friends for years.
He was funner now.
Oh, he still is. I still run into him every once in a while. Still just, he's just the same old guy. Looks at me, and this has been probably 30-some years. He'll look at me and he goes, "Hey," he says, "since your dad passed away," he says, "you're responsible for that $782 he owes me." I'm going, "What are you talking about?" He goes, he told me the story. I guess Mom and Dad had been at like the Home and Garden show up in Columbus or something, and 10 TV or whoever stopped them and interviewed him. And Rich said, "When your dad's face come up on my TV, it broke." He said, "So your dad broke my TV, so you got to pay for it." I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Was that back in
that was back probably late 80s.
Oh, okay.
Early 90s, maybe.
It's funny because I worked for a landscaping outfit in Columbus and stuff, and we did that one year.
Okay, yeah.
It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
We worked like 12 hours getting that bitch.
Sure. Oh, some of those displays are amazing.
Oh, I know what they do.
And these are all temporary. It's like, the show's done yet, tear it all down. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, holy shit.
And it was weird because a lot of times back then, a lot of that stuff was at the Columbus Convention Center, which, if you're old enough to remember, that was the Ohio Center.
Yep.
It's like, hey, we were standing in the same spot 2 months ago when we saw Kiss, and now we're looking at flower beds.
Yeah.
What?
In a way, I wish they still had that one.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the better places to go see
It was. It really was. That and the old Vets Memorial.
Yeah. I never seen a concert there.
Oh, really? Oh, we saw several. In fact, Billy and I, our first concert was at Vets. Mm-hmm. Lady that our mom worked with, this is going back 1983, 84. We wanted to go to this concert, and Mom was like, "Well, I'm not going, Dad." She's like, "You're not going by yourself." Okay.
Whatever.
So there was a lady she worked with, I think it might have been Accurate Heating and Cooling, if I remember right. She said she'd take us if we bought her ticket.
Fair enough.
Our first ever concert we were like 13th row.
It probably only cost like $12.
Yeah, it was like $17 maybe.
Yeah.
But it was Armored Saint, White Snake on the Slide It In tour, and Quiet Riot on the Mental Health tour.
That's pretty good one to go see.
Especially for your first one, it's like, wow, okay. And believe it or not, I still have the ticket stub from that.
That's
from that
awesome.
One. Yeah.
That's awesome shit. I got a bunch. I don't know where the hell what the hell we even did with them.
Karen bought me some kind of like little memento box for, I forget what it was supposed to be, like for putting beer caps or wine corks or something. That's got ticket stubs, wristbands from Easy Rider Rodeo or from this race, or 2 or 3 of my old competition licenses are in there. It's like,
there it is.
I don't drink wine, so there wouldn't be a cork here, and I don't think I can fit a bourbon bottle in it. Break it into pieces.
Yeah, what I like to do also, like during these little podcasts, little chats, I break out records.
Okay.
This is a band right down your alley. You know what I'm talking about.
Dokken? The Scorpions?
Scorpions.
All right.
I know how big of a fan you are.
Yeah, I have been over the years.
There's one,
Fly to the Rainbow. That was a great album.
Yes.
I believe I had that on cassette at one time.
Yeah. I think we all did, and it's weird because I don't go looking for records.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to like a Goodwill or something.
And I still do that sometimes. I'll be flipping through going,
and you'll be surprised what you'll find.
Sometimes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love the
I
graphic
always
on
thought
that
that
one.
was always funny.
Yeah, the Scorpions were always known for having, what would we say, controversial covers at times.
To say the least.
Animal Magnetism, that cover was banned. Love at First Sting, the original cover was banned.
It's in here.
Okay, so yeah, I have the original cover on vinyl.
Yeah, because I got both of them.
Oh, okay.
I got the band one and I got the band cover.
Okay.
But yeah, this one here, I thought it's
yeah.
a real good record. Like I say, Speedy's Coming.
Oh, great tune. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, this was back on the RCA days before they went to Polygram.
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Like I said, I don't know if it's original, OG. I don't care. One thing I know is Scorpions, and it's their one of their first.
This
few.
was, I think, their second or third album, if I remember correctly. I know their first one was Lonesome Crow, and then I think it might have been Fly to the Rainbow, but there might have been one other one before. This might have been like their third release in the U.S.
I think it's around, what, 73,
73, 74, somewhere in there, yeah.
74.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's anybody out there.
Yes. Entrance, another excellent album.
Yes. Their 70s stuff. Up to about the mid 80s.
Yeah, with the back in the Yuli John Roth days.
Criminally underrated guitar player.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But this cover here, it's just.
Oh, it's just, yeah. Theirs were, like I said, the Scorpions were known for
A little risky.
little risque on the album covers, and it could have been something as simple as the artwork.
Well,
But this is, okay, let's push this one a little bit.
but yeah, it's a damn good record. I mean, it's not like say one turd on that album. They're all other 70s records.
Oh, they were all great.
There's not one fart on them.
No.
This, like I say, this here's a reissue.
Okay.
I don't have.
I don't think I ever had. I probably had that one on cassette
Yeah, like I say, this
back in the day.
this
Yeah.
here came out after this one here.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, Entrance was a good tune. Dark Lady was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great.
It's a banger. and I got the, I pulled this one out because, it's not the,
Love Drive, yeah.
or as I say, it's the tin.
Yes.
But, it's bubble gum. It's in by bubble gum. But you flip it over.
Right. There. Oh my God, that's a nipple.
But this is the 70s. About 79.
Love Drive would have been, 78, 79, somewhere in that area.
But like I say, this is still probably about one of my favorite records of theirs.
Animal Magnetism ranked up there as one of mine.
Yeah.
You could go the obvious, Blackout, Love at First Sting.
Yeah. They're good, great records, but I don't think they compare to this one.
Well, and they kind of, once they come out, like, Animal Magnetism once Matthias Jabs
Yeah.
joined the band. They went a little bit different direction, not far. But they veered just a little off of, like you said, like the early to mid '70s stuff.
I think he's on this one. Yeah, he's on this right. I think this might have been the first one he was
I
on.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, he was trading chops with Michael
Yeah.
on this one here. So, well, Michael,
I think Michael did some of the original recording, and then
he came in.
then Jabs come in and about midway through the recording sessions, I believe.
Love Drive is a great song.
Yes. Oh, great tune.
That's just a good album.
Yes.
And this one here, believe it or not, the band version of this here is actually that dog's head is right in front of, you know, his ass.
Right.
So to speak.
Right.
I got it over.
Which? Oh gosh, which one?
I'll tell you what, I'll be right. Here, hold that. I'll go grab it. And also, that way,
Contrast and compare. Oh yeah, there were some great tunes on this one.
there you go.
Yes.
Good.
Compare.
Flip it over, see how the dog's head?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the shirt's a different color. One's blue and the other one's red.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Front cover's the same, but the back, yeah. I never noticed that over all the years. Okay.
But yeah, they actually banned, like I say, they banned this one for whatever, you know, just because of the dog's head's right there.
He could have had a peanut butter snack in his pocket.
See? There's always that, you know.
There's got to be an explanation to it.
But yeah, I mean, this record here is just
Oh, yeah.
straight down the pike.
Yeah.
It's a mother. It's a hell of a record. And you notice the button right there, how bright that is compared.
Yeah.
Because I think this one here is probably the original.
Could be.
Then that one there is the.
Well, actually, the whole artwork is a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm.
It could just been the processing the photos.
Yeah. I think that's a Hypnosis. Hypnosis did a shitload of.
Probably, yeah.
There's a good one.
That classic.
Yeah.
Not a bad song on that one either.
No. Anybody knows Scorpions? This is a lot of times it's this one or the next one. You know, Love at First Thing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And honestly, Blackout was the first album that really caught my attention with the Scorpions when I saw them on when I performed at the US Festival.
Oh, really?
Was really my first experience seeing the Scorpions. I wasn't there live, but and then it was like, man, I really like this band. I started researching. And then it was like, okay, yeah. Then I was just totally into them for
I mean, they got
years.
a ton of good,
Oh yeah,
ton of good music. Like I said, the '70s coming up to the mid '80s, man. It's just like. But yeah, probably my favorite song. One of them is Arizona.
yeah,
I don't know why.
yeah.
That song is just so damn catchy.
Yeah. And another one I always liked was "Loving You Sunday Morning." You know, everybody's like, "Oh, Still Loving You," the great ballad, and
Was it on? I think it was on the Love Drive record.
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. First song,
Yeah.
and then second song, Another Piece of Meat.
Another great one.
I don't know. Coast to Coast is just.
It's just there wasn't a bad song on any of those albums.
I like her shit. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Then here's the one.
Yes, the classic.
And believe it or not, that this cover was banned. 84 when this came out, 84, 85 when it came out.
Yeah, it was about 85. The PMRC decided it was obscene and made him change the album cover to where it just had the band.
Yeah, which I never understood that. But, I mean, it's got the same coloring and everything, but the band is on it. But yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know.
It's tame by today's standards, but
Dude, I got a record over here. It just came out not too long ago. Boobies everywhere.
yeah,
But you know, you got Santana records from back in. I mean, you got to look at the artwork.
Oh, yeah.
Naked women everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Santana did.
Yes.
But yeah, this record here, man, every song on it is so good.
And I can pretty much sing every one of them word for word when I put it on and listen to it.
Because I know when this came out, man, we all, of course, you know, I think Power Slave came out
Yeah.
during that time. Of course, this. And I think.
Screaming for Vengeance.
Yeah.
Judas Priest. Whitesnake Slided In was about the same era. Quiet Riot.
Yep.
Well, even really Motley Crue's Too Fast for Love and Shout at the Devil were all right there about a 5 or 6 year period, man. It was just, in my opinion, some of the greatest music.
Oh my, yeah.
But I mean, it's a different genre and style of music from what we consider the classic. Well, I mean, to us now, technically, it is classic rock. But you know, going back to the Zeppelin, the Deep Purple,
Yeah.
the Who, back the original hard rock bands.
Good stuff.
That you could. I mean, no offense, but like, okay, take Smoke on the Water. That song's almost 50 years old now.
Yeah.
Find me a Justin Bieber song that people are going to be playing 50 years from now.
I don't think you will. Or even a Taylor Swift song, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, trust me. Well, let me pose you one of my favorite questions to ask people. Back to music. What is your perfect one road trip song that always makes your foot get a little bit heavier no matter where you're driving?
Actually, I got a couple. Black Sabbath, Neon Nights.
Okay.
Which is probably one that I've said this before on podcasts. It's probably, to me, it is the perfect heavy metal song. It's got everything in it. Of course, you got Dio.
Right.
I mean, straight down the pipe.
Oh, yeah.
And Iron Maiden's Total Eclipse.
Okay.
Which it was never released on a vinyl until I think last year they put it on Number of the Beast.
Oh, okay.
And they took, I think, Gangland off and put that on.
Okay.
Which Gangland is another song. It is. Yeah.
Mine always falls back to the one, and it doesn't matter what I'm driving, where I'm at. Whenever it comes on, be it either shuffle on my phone or on the radio, Radar Love.
Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah, I like it.
It's just like, yeah, just that little drum beat, and it's like,
because it's weird, it's got that jazz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's what you want to hear. Then you want to hear horns after, but it doesn't. But it's a great song.
Yes.
Or anything like Rainbow, a light in the black, off Rainbow Rising. To me, I've said this before. To me, I think that is actually where heavy metal's when with that song. That's when the rubber hit the road. With that song on Rainbow's second record.
Okay. Yeah.
And you have everybody talking about Sabbath being the beginners of heavy metal.
Right.
Well, their first record was good, but it's a blues record. It's a straight up blues record, except for the song Black Sabbath.
Right.
Ooh, it's scary. Back up, Phil. It's scary.
Right.
But you take Deep Purple in rock, got Speak King on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a straight up heavy metal song.
Oh, yeah.
And you have the UFO shit with Phenomenon. That record there, Michael Schenker got there.
Yeah.
That record right there is just heavy.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't get no credit whatsoever. But that's the reason why I'm here.
There you go. Well, and speak of Michael Schenker, I mean, one of the original guitars for the Scorpions, or, well, here and there. Obviously, Rudolph's brother. But
I'm some proud.
Yeah, but then you had the Michael Schenker group, Michael Schenker Project. You had several different iterations up through the late 70s up into the late 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some good. His solo stuff was good.
Yes. He didn't.
But very, very underrated and not the publicity, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, which it sucks, you know, because he was. I still rank him up there. He's at least a top 5 guitarist for me.
Okay.
And you're right. I don't put Prince in the top 10, let alone the top 25. I mean, what he put out on records did not probably translate to what he did in concert.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
reason why I'm sticking with what I'm sticking with.
Sure.
You know, you give me Richie Blackmore, Gary Moore,
Oh,
stupid crazy guitars, and Rory Gallagher.
yeah, Rory Gallagher. It's one of my favorite songs to still listen to is Gary Moore's Still Got the Blues live.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
just unbelievable. Of course, myself, you know, I still go back to my favorite guitarist, you know, George Lynch from Dokken,
Yeah.
Peter Frampton.
Yeah. They were so good, you know.
But the one guitarist that I really love right now, and a lot of people are finally starting to tune into this guy, and he's been around for 20-some years, is Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Dude, stupid good.
Oh, I've seen him in concert like 3 times.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I've gone.
He's pretty good.
Seen him Columbus, Cleveland, and the wife and I went to Nashville about 4 or 5 years ago to go see him.
Is that where his place is?
He's got a place in Nashville.
Nerdville?
Nerdville East. Yeah.
He's got like 8,000 guitars.
He's got the most retarded guitar collection I've ever seen.
It's diabolical what that is.
And his collection of Fender Tweed amps. And that's not counting what he's got at Nerdville West out his home in California.
Yeah, I know. Another thing, the dude from Armored Saint, David Pritchard.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why, but when I hear his playing, it sounds. It's easy to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so technical.
Yes.
It's so good. And of course, you know, you got the guys from Iron Maiden, you know, that new one, but whatever shit they were doing.
But then remember how much of a phenomenon and what an animal we thought Yngwie Malmsteen was the first time we heard him.
Yeah.
It was just like, what in the world is this guy doing?
But a lot of people didn't realize he was a classical guitar player, you know, from the go.
From the beginning, yeah.
But yeah, he
Classically trained, and it translated over to the guitar.
yeah.
And if you ever really look at his guitars, how deep scalloped his fretboards are, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, when they're scalloped like that, you know, you don't have to put a lot of pressure.
Right.
You're already. But he's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
And it's funny, you sit and watch videos of him playing,
Yeah.
and you're going, okay, there's 20 notes coming out at the same time, but it looks like his fingers are barely even moving.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, how in the world?
Because when I've seen Iced Earth, they're like a speed metal type thrash metal version of Iron Maiden.
Okay.
And when the dude plays, he does a down pick, and then you see his fingers just doing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and here it sounds like a machine gun. It's just.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, stupid tight. I mean, I can imagine his practice regimen on what he did to
Oh, yeah.
get that stupid fast.
The Robert Johnson effect.
Yeah. Crossroads.
Sold my soul to the devil.
Well, Phil, I really do appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me, Dave. It's been great.
This was awesome. Well, you know, give people a little bit of insight on the rally racing.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe check out like some of the names that we kicked out for music and stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, with June 12th through the 14th will be the American Rally Association. Will be here in Chillicothe for the Southern Ohio Forest Rally. Don't hold me to the date. I believe that's what it is without looking it up. Come down, check us out. Thursday night we'll be at Chillicothe High School, run a stage through the park, and then Friday we'll be in Portsmouth running Shawnee State Forest. Some amazing, beautiful roads down there. And then Saturday we're usually down in Zaleski, down through Zaleski State Forest. Again, some of the best rally stages in the United States.
Yeah.
And that's just not just my local personal opinion. I've heard that from several guys over the years.
Yeah. That makes it nice, you know, when you get that type of following from other
Oh, yeah.
racers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Makes a real difference.
makes you feel good. So
Yes, it does.
and yeah, like I said, really good friends with the guys that organized the event. I've known them all for years. They do a hell of a job. This is one of the best events in the country as far as how everything's ran. Everything's almost always right on time.
Yeah.
And you can go to other events that have been around for 30, 40 years, and it's like, oh my God, they still haven't got this figured out, how to keep your controls on time and do this. Like, get to the starting line and you sit there for 20 minutes because, well, they thought they saw somebody on stage doing it. Okay.
And your stomach starts going.
You just, that and after a while, it never fails. It's always during an extreme weather temperature. It's either 10 degrees or 100 degrees. And you're in your fire suit and you're sweating like crazy.
You guys don't have like a decooling or anything like that as of yet?
You can get them. They do make some helmets that have like I know NASCAR uses them with the the ventilation system blowing cool air into the helmet.
Yeah.
Doesn't really translate so well to rally because the majority of us wear an open face helmet.
Yeah.
Just because of the intercom system.
Yeah.
Which, if our intercom system goes out, I've still got to be able to yell loud enough for the driver to hear the directions, or I can, use hand signals like, it's a 4 left.
Okay.
So imagine trying to look at my hand while you're trying to drive the road, and I'm over here going 3 right.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's on the fly.
Yes.
Once again, thank you for taking the time to come out here.
Appreciate it.
You have a busy schedule.
Always make time for old friends. Get together.
Yeah, it's good times.
Absolutely.
Again, thank you.
Thanks again.
Yep.
Appreciate it, Dave.
And people, be kind to one another.
Please.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
We got to get through it somehow. We might as well try and make it pleasurable.
Yeah.
Or, without beating the crap out of each other.
How are you doing, guys?
Thanks.
Yep.